When I was here in 47, I don't have time to go into it, but we had our laundry done. We had the cream of the crop in 47 as far as I'm concerned. We lived three of us in a dorm. We ate in the bottom of the girls' dormitory, family style meal, and the girls, they served us. All the football players had a special room where they got the steak. We got the hamburger, and that was fine. But it was cheap. Let me simply say that all of this was designed so that the poor boys and girls could have a high school education. About names. The girls got in because they became home builders. Theirs was an idea of dealing with canning and different things like this. Let's get to JCJC for these last few minutes. A lot of things could be said about the high school. But JCJC, what happened, the high schools began to crop up. These communities started seeing the need for a high school, and so they started establishing high schools. That took away the incentive for the agricultural high school in Ellisville. And because of the competition, the agricultural high school said, well, we'll establish a college. And so they established a junior college, attempted to. Now, the interesting thing about the junior college, young people and others, is that it did not arrive with a great deal of a splash. Let me say that the state legislature in 24 provided for the establishment of the junior college at Ellisville. April the 5th, the Jones County School Board took action to establish JCJC. 4 or 5 days later, the Jones County Board, the school board consented to that. And the hitch was that the Board of Supervisors wanted to borrow $100,000 to establish a junior college. They put it in the paper, and immediately, as the old saying goes, the fur flew. I mean, it flowed or something. I don't know. It happened. The citizens of Ellisville and the college were highly in favor of a junior college. The paper in Laurel was in favor of it, but the people in the county did not want to spend money on a junior college in Ellisville. They wanted to spend money on a high school in their community. And I'm telling you, in the book, I have copied most of the advertisements, most of the things that happened, and there was a high-pitched fever, and the bond issue lost 2-1. Ellisville, of course, voted for it and some others, but it lost, and so it was a dead issue. Well, I simply say that they took their defeat, and finally, about 3 or 4 years later, September the 3rd of 1927, the Laurel Daily Leader reported that AHS of Ellisville has been made a junior college. They had a president that he wasn't going to get a bond issue, he wasn't going to have anything, he was going to start a junior college, and he started it, and here's the result of it. That's it. Second year, well, let's see, 26 students formed the first JCJC class. Second year, there were 60 students. These were aided by 4 buses that traveled. One came from Moselle area, one from Sandersville, one from Hebron, one from Byron. The first junior college graduating class and the 18th graduating class of AHS was held jointly in the school auditorium on May 24, 1929, and the slogan was, "Watch us grow," and the motto was, "The night brings out the stars." But we could go on to simply say that following this, they had to face the matter of World War II, and that was a traumatic experience. The largest class in the history of the school to graduate up until 41 was May 15 of 1941. It was 20 from the college and 106 from the high school. And you athletically inclined people, I was going to take time to read, but I've got some scores in here that are very interesting. The JC football team beat Tulane. The basketball boys and girls were the big thing in the early days of the high school. I don't think you'd be wearing their uniforms, and every one of them looked like they was mad. The pictures we have. What you students will be interested to know that for years the members of the faculty served a breakfast to the graduates. Are they still doing that?
We still have sophomore.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, it comes on up to my days of 47, and we had our laundry. I wished I could get my laundry done as cheap now as it was then. 5 cents for this and 10 cents for that. But in the tuition, I was allowed 5 shirts, 5 shorts or undershirts, a pajama, a suit, nightshirt, 5 pairs of socks, handkerchiefs, sheets, pillows, and so forth. Do the boys and girls still enter through separate entrances?
They don't know about that.
Well, let me tell you, there wasn't much commingling. You were chaperoned. The girls were under the supervision of the female faculty, the boys under the supervision of the male faculties, and the males came in on one side, and they sat on one side, and the females on the other side. Well, the emphasis, the thing that I simply want to say in closing is simply this, that as the college moved along, one of the great things to me that happened, and this is what I sort of climax on, in Laurel, there was the Lions Club that has had what they called a toy bowl, a football game at the end of the football season. And this evolved into a junior college bowl game. One writer in the paper in Laurel said, "It's the only junior college bowl game in the country, in the world." So basically, Jones Junior College became a part of a junior college bowl game. That's not the end of the story. This was after the war. People were in a very good mood, and parades were great, and things, attending things like this was tremendous. This evolved into what was called a junior college band festival. And later, the governor and the mayor of Laurel made proclamations, Junior College Day in Mississippi. So out of this came all of this. I happened to be on the staff, took some pictures, they're in here. It's amazing, before times of television and a lot of other things, how that people were really excited about parades. Said in the parade were some new automobiles. This was after the war. And they had the floats. 9 bands. 30-something thousand people reported lining the streets of Laurel to see this. So that brings you up covering that. I want to simply mention, I'll be out here, be happy to autograph some of these books, the early years, 430-something pages of history, I believe you like.